Hi there, Bigstar1000's 90s thread response video, and I picked for every year one record except for 1996. I just wanted to add some more vinyl because it's a rather vinyl-less video. It's a lot of CDs, and yeah, that's because the 90s I was insane. I was already started, like mid-90s, I started to collect vinyl, heavily collect vinyl, but I was dumb, because instead of picking up every new release on vinyl, I had this stupid notion that new releases should be on CD, older music should be on vinyl, preferably original copies, no reissues. And I've come back to from that like full, like 100%. So yeah, there's 11 records that I'm going to show you. Starting off with 1990, which is a vinyl release, and that's Right with Nowhere. Amazing shoegaze album, one of the better shoegaze bands actually, together with My Bloody Valentine and Pale Saints. I consider this, a must-have in anyone's collection. Their second album is also really good, but this is their magnum opus. Great post shoegaze. So that's 1990 for you. 1991 was quite difficult. Lots of great releases. I wanted to show my Melvins album once more. Bullhead, I didn't. My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, no, didn't make the cut. Dinosaur Jr.'s Green Mind, the album of that band that got me into Dinosaur Jr. Sorry, it's not in here. Neither is Cypress Hill, neither is a band called LFO, which their Frequencies album is amazing, but I'm not going to show it. I am instead going to show Slint, Spiderland. This is such a great album. When I first bought it, I just didn't really get it. This was supposed to be the post-rock masterpiece that every post-rock band took their inspiration from, but I didn't hear it. It wasn't until I saw them perform live on their reunion tour when it actually connected with me. And ever since, I'm in love with this album. This and their first album called Tweez. It's just solid, more heavy sounding rock. And yeah, it has post-rock elements, and I understand that post-rock definitely took certain bits and pieces from this album. So yeah, this is an amazing album. If you don't have it yet, pick it up. 1991. 1992 is the first CD I'm going to show you. A lot of this I wasn't listening to at the time. I was big into the Pixies, early 90s, and Sonic Youth, and that was basically it. But this I picked up years later, and I love it. This is Primal Scream's Screamadelica, one of the better mixtures of dance and rock music. Everyone knows Loaded, but I'm a big fan from the. I'm a big lover of the song Higher Than the Sun, especially the dub symphony in 2 parts, which I guess has Ya Wobble playing bass on it. It has. It's a masterpiece. 1993. Another LP. This is back in 1993. I was watching MTV a lot, like I guess most of the people who were into alternative music. I watched 120 Minutes a lot, and actually I watched every good music program. 120 minutes, Headbangers Ball, Yo MTV Raps, and MTV, what was it called, Dance? Something like that, I don't know. A dance program. I was all over the place, watching everything, and I still listen to everything, so that's not weird. But there was this band, they had a song called $10 Bill, and I was like, I love that song, but I never really caught onto it until years later. It popped in my head again, and I found the album from the band that made that song. And that is Cop Shoot Cop. This is the album Ask Questions Later. It's heavy, it's dirty, it's filthy, it's amazing. Besides, $10 Bill, which is sort of a drum band kind of noise rock track, it also has Surprise Surprise, which is the opening track, which is amazing, and Room 429, which I love. It's a beautiful song, but dark as hell. It's on Interscope and Restless. I guess Restless were the ones who released it on vinyl. Solid album. I know they did more stuff. I have one more album by them, but I'm really hoping to find more of their stuff, because this is really good. 1994. Let's see. That's Helmet. I loved Helmet, and this is their most solid release in terms of song structure, noise, and melodies. Their earlier albums were either just heavy as hell or noisy, but this one, it's a great album. Biscuits for Smud, Wilma's Rainbow, just amazing album, and not mentioned a lot in the VZ. I don't know how many of you guys like Helmet, but if you're into the more, I think, post-hardcore scene, Fugazi, Helmet, the drummer from Helmet is right now in Battles, and he's a friggin' tight drummer. He can keep rhythm. He's amazing. So that's 1994. 1995, I discovered a band called Shavazz. Now, I never picked this up on vinyl. This is what I'm talking about. This vinyl of this album on vinyl goes for insane amounts of money. So does their second album. But I never ever picked this up on vinyl. I picked it up on CD, and bummer. It's on Matador. It's another noisy kind of rock band, like Andreas, Grecian Thunder. The indie thing doesn't quite work anymore, so it's on an alternative label, on an independent label, so maybe that merits it. It's on Matador Records, but then again, Matador probably is part of a big major label thing. I don't know. Anyway, awesome stuff. Noisy, alternative rock, if you will. Just good stuff. 1996. I mentioned that this is the year that I'll be showing two records from, because I couldn't really choose. A lot of good stuff came out that year. Audelay by Beck, which changed music, sampled music a lot. But I'm going to go with another sample-heavy album, and that's Introducing by DJ Shadow. This is I don't know if it's a limited edition thing. It's a CD, obviously. Comes in a slipcase. It's a gatefold release, and it comes in this. Got the little booklet, obviously, and it comes in this little cloth thing. I have seen other versions that are just jewel case releases, but this, I'm pretty happy I have this version. It still is masterpiece, by the way, so if you're considering picking up other stuff by him, his second album is good, but it's not as good as Introducing, which is a friggin' masterpiece. Um, it's yeah, it is hip hop, but it's no rap. Instrumental mostly, sample heavy. The guy takes records apart like no one else does, and as you can see from the sleeve, he's a vinyl junkie. Let's look at that. Amazing, amazing album. If you are into music, psychedelic music even, this is a really good album to actually pick it up on vinyl, though. I think it's not that difficult to get on vinyl. 1996, another album. This is Under the Bushes, Under the Stars by Guided by Voices. It's a 2 LP set. Features a 12-inch with 5 tracks, 6 tracks. And this is the album that you'll love if you love old school Guided by Voices, but also if you love newer Guided by Voices. It has the lo-fi elements of their earlier stuff, but it already is showing that they can just make good sounding tunes as well. This is just an amazing record. Picked this up on CD first at a Goodwill, and I just had to have it on vinyl, so I ordered this. Just an amazing, amazing record. Guided by Voices. I just love these guys. The rest is CDs only. 1997. I got the wrong CD. 1 minute. I had to look somewhere. I misplaced it. Anyway, 1997. Granddaddy. I love Granddaddy. This is their debut album, Under the Western Freeway. These guys were pretty big-ish in Holland. They had a small radio hit with Summer Here Kids, and I guess also AM 180. It's a solid, just lo-fi pop album, pop rock album, and it's just an amazing band. If there's ever going to be a 2000 thread, I cannot escape this band anymore. I'm going to show this one. If you know the Software Slump, pick this up. It's not as big of an epic record, if you will, but it's a great album. 1998 is when I got into the whole Elephant Six movement. I guess I found out about them through a compilation CD from a Japanese magazine, by the way. I had pen pals in Japan at the time, and the old school, we would send each other CDs and magazines and stuff, and I got a Japanese magazine with a front CD which featured a lot of Elephant Six stuff, and I got hooked on it. I was at the time already into 60s music, and this just blew me away. 1998, Neutral Milk Hotel. This is in an airplane over the sea. I have the CD version. Never picked up the vinyl version. Maybe I should. I don't know. Just amazing mix of folk, 60s, indie rock, whatever. It's great album. And from 1999, it's one of the least known bands from the whole Elephant Six movement. You have, of course, Neutral Milk Hotel off Montreal. They're still going strong. Apples in Stereo, amazing band. Saw them perform twice, and such a high energy band. Love them. But this is the least known, I guess, from that movement, and that's the SX Green. This is the album Everything is Green, and if you love 60s psychedelic folk, you're gonna love this. It's on a label called Kindercore Records, which I loved at the time. But this is just a truly amazing album, and it catches the vibe of those psychedelic folk albums of the 60s. So That's $19.99 for you. And that's my response to the 90s thread, and I actually cannot wait until the 2000 thread, because I got a little more vinyl from that era. But also the 60s thread, why not? So thank you, Fred, for being the person to actually jumpstart this 90s thing, and have a good one, everyone. Peace.